Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to a special Points West. I'm here live at Longleat in Wiltshire as the world famous safari park celebrates its diamond anniversary. Coming up, Lord Bath praises his grandfather for taking a gamble 60 years ago.
I think he'd be proud on multiple fronts that Longleat's grown, that the attendance has grown so much, and that Longleat has really become a national institution.
The estate is home to more than 120 different species, many of them endangered.
Come on, Lily! Come on, Barrow!
But the lions are still the top attraction. You can watch later as they chase our reporter down at feeding time.
In other news tonight, the Bishop of Salisbury voluntarily steps back as allegations of financial irregularities are investigated. And Bath get ready to battle in the quarter-final of the European Champions Cup.
Hello and welcome to Longleat. Behind me, the magnificent Longleat House, the only word for it. It took nearly 13 years and 112 workers to build it. But back in 1949, this great estate was in big trouble. Crippled by financial problems, the 6th Marquess made the decision to open up this house to the public, the first time that had ever been done. Then, in 1966, he went a step further. Just have a look at these pictures. With the famous circus owner, Jimmy Chipperfield, he collected 50 lions and created the first drive-through safari park outside of Africa, with the lions wandering about freely, safety signs everywhere, and no visitor has ever been bitten. 60 years on, the 8th Lord Bath is now in charge. We sat down together in there to reflect on how it all began. 60 years. It was an incredible endeavour, a gamble by your grandfather. Sitting here now, how do you reflect on what has been created here?
Well, it was a gamble, certainly, but it was a little bit more than that. It was forging through a Rubicon that had never been forged through before. I mean, to the degree that it was debated in the Houses of Parliament, people were quite sort of scandalised, nervous, terrified about the possibility of what could potentially go wrong. You know, bringing 50 lions from Africa to the Wiltshire countryside back in the 1960s, that seemed pretty mad. My grandfather really created an entirely new industry that hadn't existed before.
Marvellous. Yes, this is the biggest thing that's ever been done. It really is. It's never been done in Europe before or the world.
What kind of character was he? He was quite an eccentric.
He was eccentric, for sure. He was exacting, charming and merciless, I suppose, in equal measure. The grandpa I knew, he was a very mellowed man, so I got to experience more of the charm side.
Can you put into words what this place means to you?
Well, Longleat means a huge amount to me. I mean, I grew up here as a child. I went to the local school. It's hugely meaningful.
Have you any standout memories of that childhood time here?
We had a brown bear, a baby brown bear, in what was Pet's Corner. And I would go in and have a cuddle with this bear after school every day. Now, you wouldn't be allowed to do that today. Obviously, the rules and regulations are very different.
And you have a young family.
Yes.
How are you preparing them for this extraordinary legacy?
Really, at the moment, it's just letting them become accustomed to it without any sense of pressure, seeing them running around and, you know, by moments pretending to be the ghost and making ghostly noises as the tours go by, as I did when I was a child.
You did too.
So we haven't had that sort of sit-down moment of, you know, son, one day you'll have to. But they're still very young. They're 9 and 11 years old.
Well, thank you for opening up your beautiful home to us today. It's been great to chat.
Thank you for coming. Thanks so much.
Now I've come away from Lord Bath's home over to the African village overlooking lots of the fields where the animals live. It's quite parky in the animal park tonight, so I put my coat on. If you've been here, then you'll know how vast this estate is. 9,500 acres, housing more than 1,000 animals. So we've been watching giraffes and zebras, we've been watching wildebeest and camels all mooching around this area this afternoon. It's been lovely. And hundreds of people work here as well, and I've been meeting lots of them, including keeper Ian Turner, who gave me the special tour earlier. He's been working here for 50 years.
It's not even a second home, it's a first home. You know, I live on site, so I'm here 24/7. Any emergencies we get called in, and it's just your whole life. You spend more time with them than you do with your family for a start off, so you're there, 24/7. There's no kissing on the first date.
Hello? Hello?
With the tigers, they're aggressive and not tame, but they're still good, and they'll still chuffle and say hello to you in the morning, and they greet you. So when the keepers come in first thing in the morning, they'll come over and they do like a cat and all friendly. For some reason, I don't know why, just seems to like me. I mean, it's like a dog. It'll have a tummy tickle, roll over and everything. This is the spotted hyena. It's just your whole life. As you'll find out if you ever speak to my boss, the worst thing he has is trying to get me to take holiday.
This goes back to the very beginning, really. So just after Jimmy Chipperfield had met up with Lord Bath.
At Longleat, memories aren't just made, they're preserved. Emma Challoner is in charge of the archive, from the original planning applications.
Lions? Well, we thought it was for deer, and that was the chairman of the Warminster Rural District Council. So
Eek, and the conversations began from that point on. Yeah. The purchase of the first 50 lions.
Zoos, circuses, private collections, all over the world as well. So these are some of the, quite famously, they brought some lions from the filming of Born Free.
To the I've seen the lions of Longleat car stickers everyone seemed to have. I'm sure we had one of those.
Yes, these became very famous and they became almost iconic, and they were given out to every car. And as you see, the lion's face was designed particularly to be a very benevolent looking lion, because I think of all these sort of fears that
not
have
hungry,
sprung up.
super
Not
friendly.
Hungry,
come and see me. Do you feel really connected to Longleat?
Yes, I do. I have been here quite a while now, so I feel like, I'm learning more and more about it. I still feel I've got a huge amount to learn.
Not a bad place to call the office, is it? Well, let's have a chat now to Darren Beasley, who's head of animal operations. And I don't think you've been here quite as long as Ian. But maybe getting there, 40 years?
Yeah, 14 years next year.
And started with the parrots.
Yeah, we introduced the parrots to the pet school. It seems like yesterday, of course.
I bet it does, but I bet also a lot has changed over those 40 years.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think the way we've developed we have science now. We have understanding. People know far more about the animals and genetics and DNA and legislation. So I think it's a lot more complicated than it used to be. Still fun. Every day's a school day.
You must have quite a connection with quite a lot of the animals. I know that's really important to all of you keepers. And you're always asked, what's your favourite? So I'm going to ask you that question.
I think it'd be wrong to say I have a favourite. I do love them all, and I think you'll find most of the keepers. We kind of specialise in parrots, of course, tortoises, but I think I like hippos at the moment. They're our latest thing. They've joined us, and they're going in the lake really soon. So,
what kind of things do you have to do to make sure they get the absolutely right care for each of their individual species?
Welfare is top of the tree. You've got to make sure that you get the right nutrition, the right healthcare, the right veterinary care, but also it's the environment you keep them in. Look around us.
I was going to say, when you see them using this space, can you be absolutely confident and sure and happy that they are enjoying their environment here?
Absolutely. To see giraffes running, because they want to run, or tigers are less cats. You see a 300-kilo tiger climbing a tree to chase a squirrel. It's what they do. It's a great environment, and I think that's really important. It's you put into your animals and they'll give you back, and give them a good environment.
Brilliant. Well, that's certainly what we've got here. Thank you so much. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And Liz, come back and join us a little bit later for a bit more behind the scenes, because our very intrepid reporter, Andy Howard, has been feeding the lions of Longleat, and to get the full kind of authentic experience, they had to chase him down. High excitement.
Can't wait for that. Back with you soon, Amanda. Now, in other news tonight, a 16 and a 17-year-old boy have been arrested on suspicion of murder following the death of a man who was attacked in Cheltenham. Police say the victim in his 70s was punched in the face during an incident on Honeybourne Way on Wednesday and died this morning in hospital. Officers have thanked members of the public who came forward after CCTV images were released. The Bishop of Salisbury, Stephen Lake, has stepped back while a financial audit is carried out. The Church of England says it follows allegations of potential irregularities linked to two separate funds. The Diocese of Salisbury says the move is voluntary, with the Bishop of Sherborne, Karen Gorham, taking over as the audit continues. Investigations have been continuing at the scene of a murder near Bristol. A man in his 20s was found dead early yesterday morning in a garden in Filton, near a path that runs behind houses on Cleve Road. Police say they believe the victim was fatally injured on Wednesday. Now, there's more stories on the BBC News website this evening. Here's just a few. A former BBC and ITV presenter who sexually assaulted 5 girls has been sent back to prison. Peter Rowell failed to tell police he'd been at a property where there was a child. A 14-year-old boy has been seriously injured in an attack by 2 dogs near Devizes. The animals had escaped from a property. A fire at a Grade 2 listed building is being investigated as arson. The Mechanics Institute in Swindon has been empty since 1986. You can find all those stories and so much more on the BBC News app. Well, it's the Grand National this weekend with West Country interest in the big race. Before that, an important night for Bath Rugby in the Champions Cup, isn't it, Ali?
Yeah, we've reached the quarter-final stage, Liz, of Europe's top-tier competition, which, remember, Bath won back in 1998. But it is over a decade since they made it into the last 8. Well, tonight they've got home advantage against Northampton, and Jack Kyler is there ahead of kickoff.
This is the calm before the storm at what will be a sold-out wreck. The best 2 teams as it stands in the English Prem vying it out for a place in the Champions Cup semi-finals. For Northampton Saints, they actually won the league fixture here earlier in the season, whilst for Bath, they're looking to lift the Champions Cup for the first time since 1998.
Yeah, like the buzz is incredible, and it's hard not to notice it, like walking around the place on a match day, even the day before. Like it brings so many people together, and it's such a spectacle.
I think it's important to acknowledge and enjoy these moments because they don't come along often. It's the first one in I don't know how many years to be at this stage of this competition, and it's a competition that everybody wants to be involved in, and yeah, let's enjoy the next few days.
Both teams have unsurprisingly named really strong squads for tonight's game, so the question is now, can Bath, with the likes of Russell and Arundel, overcome a Saints side which contains names like Pollock and Freeman? Whatever happens, it'll hopefully be an epic 80 minutes of rugby.
Thank you, Jack. Well, that game kicks off the sport on BBC Radio Bristol this weekend.
Yes, Dan Albert and Tom Foley will bring you commentary from the wreck tonight. Tomorrow, attention turns to football. Bristol City are at Queen's Park Rangers. Roy Hodgson with 2 wins out of 2. Looking to make it 3 in a row at Loftus Road. We're also at the Memorial Stadium where Rovers, 5 wins in a row, are playing Crawley. Both games kicking off at 12:30. Saturday Sports on air from 12.
Well, a check on all the football matches. Swindon Town play tonight at Colchester, where a win will move them into the top 3. Commentary of that with the BBC Radio Wiltshire team. Their coverage starts shortly. Now, it's 14 years since a West Country winner of the Grand National. This year, 7 of the 34 entries do have ties to this part of the world. So we have jockeys Harry Cobden from Somerset and John Joe O'Neill Jr. from Gloucestershire. He's going to be riding Iroko, who's one of the favourites. And these 5 horses are all trained in Gloucestershire. Well, our reporter Dan Pallett has been to see 100-to-1 long shot Marble Sands, and first, the more fancied Johnny Who.
With his coat shining in the morning light, Johnny Who looks a picture. Out on the gallops, though, he comes alive. Trainer AJ O'Neill gets to see this every day, but it's not every day he has a Grand National contender.
It's a massive race. Everyone sort of stops to watch it in all sorts of different walks of life and industries and stuff, which makes it very, very special. As I said, yeah, to have Johnny Who in it, who's obviously going there off the back of a win at Cheltenham, is even more exciting.
Of course, John Joe O'Neill won the race in 2010 with Don't Push It. AP McCoy was in the saddle. But this is new territory for the joint partnership of David Killahena and Graham McPherson. Marble Sands will be just the second ever national runner for the stable near Stow-on-the-Wold.
It means everything. Rummy's third national back in the 70s, one of the first races I remember watching, and it's a race that I have absolutely loved my entire life, and to have a runner in it now, superb.
He's the yard favourite, so he is. He's been very easy to deal with. He's a lovely horse, and in fairness to me, he's always been very consistent in his races.
He's the stable star, no matter how he performs at Aintree. Dan Pallett, BBC Points West, the Cotswolds.
Finally from me, the second round of county cricket matches began today. All the scores, Liz, on the BBC Sport website.
Brilliant, thanks, Ali. Now, an artist from Bristol has been speaking about how her career took off after a world-famous pop star bought one of her paintings. Sylvie Baker from Redlands says she was shocked when Billie Eilish got in touch on Instagram to buy the picture Firehorse, which is an oil-on-canvas piece. Lucky her. And as a result, she's now looking for studio space. Well, back now to Longleat in Wiltshire, which is celebrating 60 years this weekend since the opening of the world-famous safari park. Amanda is there. And Amanda, you've been finding out more about the famous lions, haven't you?
I sure have. There is no doubt about it. They have always been Longleat's main attraction. Magnificent. 60 years ago, 50 lions roamed around, kept in by just a chain-linked fence as visitors drove through in their cars, with lots of warnings everywhere not to get out.
People will drive through with their windows open and they put their elbows out. Well, they'll get away with it 9 times out of 10, but there's always a 10th time they might not. And they must not do that. If they do it, it's their own fault. Otherwise, if they stay in the car and obey the regulations, it's safer than me going across the main street of Warminster, I promise you.
As long as you follow the rules. Well, these days a lot has changed about how these powerful predators live in this particular part of the Wiltshire countryside. There are 18 of them, 2 separate prides, kept apart and kept in by state-of-the-art 4-metre-high fences. And as you would imagine, they do sometimes get rather hungry. Our reporter Andy Howard was invited along to feeding time, and it turned into quite the adventure.
So this is the feed wagon. This is where we're going to be.
Oh, lovely.
We feed them a variety of horse meat, of veal, some deer sometimes. Today they're getting a nice bit of veal. So they need to hunt down this feed wagon, essentially. So
they're hunting us?
They're hunting you, not me, they know me, they're hunting you. So we've got a tractor pulling this big metal cage, and they know that if they pop the tyres of the feed wagon, the food stays in the section. Our patrol trucks, their mission is to stop that from happening. Our job is to make sure that when it's the right time, when they've worked hard enough, we'll give them their reward of the food. They need to hunt us down.
Is it right to feel nervous?
Yes, that is absolutely fine.
We're going into a field full of lions who know this is coming and know that in order to get it, they have to chase us. We're going through the gate.
They can see us coming.
Oh.
Go on, lions!
And here they come.
Come on, lions! They're going to cut you off now, and they're going for your tyres, see?
Oh my God, they are actually going for the tyres.
You want to start dropping this meat out?
I mean, is this one each, or is it more complicated
We
than
give
that?
them a couple of pieces each, because they'll all have different cuts of meat that they want to eat. Come on, Lily! Come on, Beryl! She's caught up with us. She's starting to try and whip us away, and then these guys have cut across.
So this is tactics.
Yeah. She's trying to get us away and then pushing us into these two lions here, see?
We're being ambushed.
We are.
Do they go to specific places?
They'll separate off a little bit because they don't want to have that rivalry between each other, but they'll stay quite close to the meat so they can come back to the next bit. But lions, they are the top of the food chain. No one's going to go in after a lion who's got food. So you can see they've got their heads down. They're not caring about what's going on around them. They've got like little hooks on their tongue. So when they're licking the bone, they're ripping every last bit of meat off. Even for us keepers, doing the feed wagon is a dream still. So it's great for me just to experience that again with you and just remind me how they are still wild animals. They've still got to hunt us. And relax.
Oh. When you see something that close that is that wild, it's a rush.
Yeah.
And to think they only feed twice a week.
Yeah. Literally, we're all about trying to be as natural as possible, trying to give them, they are lions. We make sure they stay lions because they are the lions of Longleat. Yeah. They always have been, they always will be, and we're gonna do our best to stay that way.
Amazing. Happy to say no Andys were harmed in the feeding of the lions of Longleat. And I have to say, Eloise, who Andy was meeting there, is really living the dream. She grew up locally. All she ever wanted to do was look after the lions of Longleat. And now she is their head keeper, living her best life. Now, there's a lot of stuff been planned for this coming weekend to celebrate this 60th anniversary. Let's just talk to Longleat's Wendy Best about all that's coming. What sort of stuff have you organised for this very special occasion?
So on top of the different safaris, the railway, the boat cruise, we've got garden games, we've got vintage music from across the decades, and also a sneak peek at some events coming up later in the year. So we've got some classic cars, we've got our balloons, Cymbaloo and Adelaide, being tethered, and you might see them fly for Icons of the Sky. So loads to do.
And you've got some special keeper talks and that sort of thing as well, haven't you?
Yes, so conservation is very much at the heart of Longleat, and you've met some of our keepers and they are so fabulous and really understand the behaviour of the animals they care for. So people will get a behind the scenes glimpse, and it could be a talk about the hippos that arrived last year, the cotton-top tamarins, the red pandas, and also about the record keeping, because obviously we've got the endangered animal programmes and the breeding, and we need to keep track of all the different births.
They're a great bunch, aren't they? They really are. It was lovely to meet them all. What else can we look forward to? We've got all sorts going on across the rest of the 12 months, haven't we?
We have. So I mentioned the classic cars are coming. That's for the Motor Show Weekender at the end of June. We've got our Icons of the Sky event, and I'm told by the organisers there's some balloons going to be flying that haven't been seen in the UK before, but I can't say any more.
And if you're 60, then and you're born in this month,
you can come tomorrow and Sunday for free.
Amazing.
All the information's on our website.
Is there cake?
Oh, of course there's cake. We've got rainbow cake, we've got chocolate cake, courgette and avocado cake.
Oh, hello.
A whole mixture.
Great. Sounds good. Listen, it's got a bit blowy here, hasn't it? We're being watched by an ostrich. That's quite fun. We need to check in with Alexis Green just to see what the weather is going to be doing over the next couple of days. Let's hear from her now.
Good evening. We will see clearing skies overnight tonight, and a band of squally rain will arrive during the early hours of the morning. But we saw some sunshine today. This sunny scene was photographed today in Gloucestershire by one of our weather watchers. So what can we expect through the day tomorrow? Well, there will be some rain at first. That's that squally band of rain. Sunny spells and showers will develop. The showers could potentially be heavy and also thundery with hail. Initially some rain this evening, followed by clearing skies, strengthening winds, and a band of squally rain will arrive during the early hours of the morning. With this band of rain, the winds will be fairly gusty, and temperatures tonight will drop to the mid-single figures, lows of 5 to 6 Celsius. So tomorrow morning there will be some heavy rain at first. That will start to clear its way eastwards very quickly. The breeze will start to strengthen through the course of the day, and we'll see showers pop up. They could merge into longer spells of rain, and there could be some thunderstorms in there with hail mixed in. Brisk southwesterly winds during the afternoon, fairly strong wind gusts in places, and temperatures will peak into double figures, highs of 11, possibly only 12 Celsius. So the weekend as a whole is fairly blustery in nature. Strong southwesterly winds both Saturday and Sunday. And during Saturday daytime, after the rain has cleared, we'll see those thunderstorms move their way in. Further thundery showers Saturday night into Sunday, and further thunderstorms with hail through the course of Sunday daytime, but also some sunshine mixed in there as well. Into Monday next week, there will be some sunny spells and scattered showers. They could be on the heavy side and also thundery, but Tuesday's mainly dry, and temperatures next week start to rise.
Thank you very much to you, Alexis. And that's it from Longleat tonight. This was all a very big gamble 60 years ago by the 6th Lord Bath, a gamble that put Wiltshire on the global map and turned this traditional country estate into a world-renowned tourist attraction. The drive-through safaris, the famous lions, all of the other animals have delighted millions over the years and created countless childhood memories that will never be forgotten. Happy birthday, Longleat. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.